Elon Musk hates ads. Twitter needs them. That may be a problem. I disdain promoting, Elon Musk tweeted in 2019. Since he began chasing after his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter, and for a really long time before that, the world's most extravagant man has focused on obvious that publicizing isn't. He has discussed bringing in cash from Twitter through different means, such as charging a few clients to be on the site. He has likewise recommended that he needs to loosen up the assistance's substance balance strategies, which advertisers say have kept promotions from showing up close by disdain discourse and falsehood. However, as Mr. Musk prepares to assume control over Twitter, he may rapidly find that Twitter needs Madison Avenue more than the reverse way around. Promotions represent approximately 90% of Twitter's income. However, sometime before Mr. Musk's procurement, numerous office chiefs were tepid about promoting on the help. They have referred to a reiteration of objections, including that the organization can't target promotions close to as well as contenders can. Imagine Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Presently, various publicizing chiefs say they're willing to move their cash somewhere else, particularly if Mr. Musk disposes of the shields that permitted Twitter to eliminate bigoted tirades and paranoid ideas. A sponsor departure would debilitate the organization, highlighting the trouble of adjusting Mr. Musk's vision of Twitter as a safe house with the expectation of complementary discourse with the business connections that make all the difference for it. Yet, Twitter's prime supporter and in any event a few financial backers who joined Mr. Musk's offer have dismissed the requirement for publicizing and demanded that the organization needs to split away from it. Twitter's status as a public organization exclusively dependent on the promoting plan of action added to its concerns with bots, misuse and oversight, said Ben Horowitz, a general accomplice at the funding firm Andreessen Horowitz, which is putting $400 million in the work to take Twitter private. Jack Dorsey, the organization's fellow benefactor, concurred. This is valid. It needs cover for some time, Mr. Dorsey said in a tweet answering Mr. Horowitz. Publicists said such a shift would hurt Twitter. Toward the day's end, not the brands should be concerned, in light of the fact that they'll simply spend their financial plans somewhere else. Twitter should be concerned, said David Jones, a long-term promoting leader and the CEO of the Brandtech Group, a showcasing innovation organization. Assuming you told me that TikTok disappeared, that would be a fiasco. However, Twitter disappearing? Better believe it, no difference either way. Just after Mr. Musk arrived at an arrangement to purchase Twitter early last week, the organization's leaders started contacting promoting clients, as per administrative filings and a few group who got the messages. The leaders messaged affirmations that business would continue to the surprise of no one and that the lines of correspondence would stay open. Brand well-being, they said, stays a need. Twitter agents have additionally noticed that it would presumably be months, while possibly not over a year, prior to any genuine changes would come full circle, promoting leaders said. On Wednesday night, at Twitter's yearly New Fronts show for sponsors at Pier 17 in New York, organization delegates focused on Twitter's incentive for advertisers, as a top objective for individuals to accumulate and talk about major social minutes like games or the Met Gala, progressively through video posts. Moderators swore to assist brands with contacting divided crowds, and chiefs over and over said thanks to sponsors and offices for their trust and coordinated effort. Mr. Musk's forthcoming procurement, and how could affect publicists, went unmentioned during the brief show. It has been a calm month at Twitter, kidded JP Maheu, Twitter's VP of Worldwide Client Arrangements. Agents for Mr. Musk didn't answer a solicitation for input about his arrangements for publicizing at Twitter. Twitter declined to remark. Twitter varies from Facebook, whose large number of little and fair-sized publicists produce the heft of the organization's income and rely upon its gigantic size and focusing on capacities to arrive at clients. Twitter's customer base is intensely weighted with enormous, standard organizations, which will generally be careful about their advertisements showing up close by risky substance. Twitter procures by far most of its promotion income from brand mindfulness crusades, whose adequacy is a lot harder to assess than advertisements that target clients in view of their inclinations or that push for an immediate reaction, for example, navigating to a site. The organization has pursued for quite a long time to cause its foundation a superior objective for advertisements that to create quantifiable deals, and revamped its promotion server in 2019 and 2020 to fulfill advertiser needs. In March, Twitter started permitting publicists in the United States to add shopping indexes that exhibited top items for anybody visiting their profiles. Twitter's range is likewise smaller than many adversaries, with 229 million clients who see promotions, contrasted in 830 million clients on LinkedIn and 1.96 billion everyday clients on Facebook. Stifel investigators kept in touch with clients as of late that Twitter was still viewed as a decently specialty stage by a larger number of people in the promoting business. Last month, Twitter said its $1.2 billion in income during the initial 3 months of the year was up 16% from a year sooner, yet slacked the development rate the organization had anticipated. While it was productive in the quarter, the organization has lost cash in 8 of the beyond 10 years. At the promotional firm Chemistry, whose clients incorporate medical organizations and public eatery networks, Twitter represents around 10% of virtual entertainment financial plans, said Jason Dill, who manages media arranging. Indeed, even any semblance of LinkedIn have overshadowed the capacity for us to target purchasers past the thing Twitter is giving, he said. We will go where the outcomes are, and with a great deal of our clients, we haven't seen the presentation on Twitter according to an advertisement point of view that we have with different stages. Be that as it may, for Mr. Dill and numerous others, Twitter's mentality toward content controls was a splendid spot. In 2019, it restricted every single political advertisement. The organization presented cautioning marks about deception connected with races, brought down misrepresentations about antibodies, and, after the Capitol revolt last year, for all-time banished previous President Donald J. Trump. Last month, because of the conflict in Ukraine, the stage quit intensifying Russian government accounts and started obstructing a few tweets containing pictures of detainees of war. Days before the arrangement with Mr. Musk was declared, Twitter said it would boycott promotions that deny environmental change. Twitter's improved than numerous stages at building in trust with promoters. They've been more moderate, more responsive, and more unassuming about starting ways of learning, said Mark Red, the CEO of WPP, one of the biggest publicizing organizations on the planet. Presently, that's what numerous publicists say in spite of the fact that they will stand by to see what Mr. Musk does. They are stressed that 10 years of defensive platform might be destroyed. We can securely say that assuming the substance control arrangements change, and assuming it is absolutely impossible for us to safeguard the brand, we're certainly going to prescribe to our clients that they pull back on their speculations, said Arun Kumar, the Central Information and Innovation official at the advertisement monster IPG. A few publicizing chiefs said they questioned that Mr. Musk would consider their interests in light of his history with the business. Mr. Musk, a pioneer behind the fruitful electric vehicle organization Tesla and the rocket organization SpaceX, does little promoting for those organizations. On Twitter, he has censured advertisements as controlling popular assessment and examined his refusal to pay celebrities to counterfeit embrace. When writing in a Cincy Race tweet about Twitter Blue, the as of late presented $3 a month membership administration, he pushed for no promotions, making sense of that the influence of partnerships to direct arrangement is enormously improved assuming Twitter relies upon publicizing cash to get by. I don't think he thinks often about the promoting experience on Twitter, since he's never thought often about publicizing, said Harry Kerdman, the CEO of the versatile promoting organization Cargo. I don't believe that he's tied in with persuading sponsors to burn through cash on the stage past what's mechanized. Mr. Musk has recommended that Twitter center around memberships. Others have proposed a compensation for each tweet model. In any case, some promotion chiefs trust that Mr. Musk's cutthroat soul will motivate him to reset Twitter as a stalwart advertising machine. There's a crossroads, where path that prompts an unfiltered place with the most terrible of human way of behaving and no brands need to go remotely close to it, said Mr. Jones of Brandtech. Also, Path B has one of the world's virtuoso business visionaries, who knows a ton about running organizations, releasing a rush of advancement that has individuals thinking back in a couple of years and saying, recollect when everybody was stressed over Musk coming.